Newcomers fear not. Final Fantasy XVI may be right for you too. What's up nerds, welcome to Endgame. I'm Hoobs4 and today I want to share why I think Final Fantasy XVI should be given a fair shot by everyone, and not just seasoned veterans. So if you are new to the franchise like me, then this is the video for you. Final Fantasy XVI is my first Final Fantasy game, and I have no regrets. With that being said, newcomers fear not, because Final Fantasy XVI may just be right for you too. So let's go ahead and enter gaming.
Enter gaming.
So why should newcomers even consider Final Fantasy XVI without playing any of the previous titles? Well, that's a fairly loaded question, so let me start with a big misconception that I had, and I hope to clear it up for some others too. There is no connection in the story between Final Fantasy games. Sure, there are recurring themes like magic, for one, but there's no real story connection, and I misunderstood this for a long time before Final Fantasy XVI. So, if that's a concern for you, fear not, it's a new story for everyone. With that being said, the story told here in Final Fantasy XVI is an exciting one. In the opening hours alone, the game is full of sadness, excitement, hope, happiness, despair, and twists. And I have been blown away by how well the story has been developed and produced. The writing has been excellent, and voice acting takes it to another level. Seriously, if you enjoy a good story, like me, then this seems to be a massive part of not only this game, but a staple for the whole Final Fantasy series. So before I get too much further, I want to know the thoughts of the community. If you are new to Final Fantasy and have given the game a try, what are your thoughts? Leave a comment down below, and if you are a seasoned veteran, what do you think of the game? And so with this story comes cinematics. Now, this is a big point of apprehension for me when considering Final Fantasy XVI. After all, it was released that there were hours and hours of cinematics in this game. And typically, I am not one to stay in cinematics for too long. Typically, I just get the gist of it, and then maybe skip some parts of the dialogue and move back into the gameplay. I appreciate the story, always, but I enjoy playing more than watching. Final Fantasy XVI changes that. The cinematics are so explosive in large-scale scenes, and then they vary all the way down to quaint conversations to convey emotions. And I can't take my eyes off any of them. The gameplay is excellent, and I still can't wait to get back to it. However, these cinematics are really worth watching. The story is told so well through them, and they invite you to feel so many emotions. It is absolutely worth watching and getting invested in. Those are three big points: being an individual story, having exciting cutscenes for a change, and heck, being a good story. And those were all points of concern that the demo alone solved for me. I was awestruck by the demo and wanted more. By the time I finished the demo and the secret second demo, I couldn't wait for the main game and had it pre-ordered. So when in doubt, just try the demo, and I'll talk a little more about that later. And if you are enjoying this video, then please consider subscribing. Most of my viewers are not subscribed, and it would help me out a ton. I also wasn't sure about the combat. After all, what I had known about Final Fantasy was that it was turn-based, and while I don't mind turn-based combat, I wasn't sure it was for me in this type of game. Well, Final Fantasy XVI's combat changes that part of the formula to a high-octane action combat. So now the combat is closer to something like Devil May Cry. It's over the top, cinematic, smooth, and fluid. Honestly, it's one of the cleanest feeling combat systems I've played in recent memory. I find it to be so exhilarating. I have a hard time putting it down. And there's a learning curve to it, and there's a lot of skill expression, but don't get me wrong, it is a solid system. Now, what I do love is a good RPG, and Final Fantasy XVI has me covered there. You manage Clive's abilities, upgrades his armor, gear, and powerful accessories. Unlike other Final Fantasy games, you don't manage your whole party, but instead it's focused solely on Clive. The scaling and pacing of the upgrades seem to be really well done, and the skill tree has the potential to be really extensive. More than that, graphically the game is just gorgeous. It's fairly linear, but the open zones are all incredible to look at. They are full of monsters and baddies, and the environments are so well developed I could swear I'm there with Clive. On the flip side, I have heard there are some performance issues, especially on performance mode, but I personally haven't really experienced any. Regardless, the game looks absolutely terrific, and it plays really well. So as I was looking into things, another staple of the Final Fantasy game that people always say is the score. And my goodness, this one has to be up there with the best. The battle music is amazing and exciting, and the calm environmental music fits every setting just perfectly. I am not one to typically go out of my way to notice the music, but this blends in so perfectly and helps the atmosphere in every situation, it's absolutely worth mentioning. Following the score, another staple are themes of magic. In Final Fantasy XVI, the magic is connected to some heavy themes that are worth discovering for yourself. What I can say is that the magic you use in combat brings everything together, and its evolution over the course of the game is astonishing. I mean, heck, you get to play occasionally as the icons themselves, which are basically powerful beings of a certain element. These battles are so large scale and epic, they have left my jaw on the floor. Look, I'm not going to overstay my welcome here, but you may be wondering what my angle is, and honestly, I just don't want gamers to miss out on a great game that they may really like over misunderstandings and misconceptions of a series that has 15 other entries and however many spin-offs. This is my first Final Fantasy game, and after this, I'm gonna be looking forward to playing others in the future. So, if it's your first too, then I welcome you alongside myself. I got hooked into this game, and honestly it's for one reason, and that's the demo. And the best thing I can say is if you're still unsure, just go play the demo and see yourself. The demo's data carries over to the main game, so if you enjoy yourself, you don't have to restart any progress. The demo gives an idea of the scale, production, emotional weight, incredible combat, and storytelling that Final Fantasy XVI boasts. So, if any of that appeals to you, I think you should consider giving it a shot. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below and consider liking the video if you enjoyed. I'm Hoobs4, this is Ingame, and I will see you nerds on the next one. Peace. Thank you for watching, right here on Ingame. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content.